Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Spiritual Transformer. So, recently I've kind of been getting into YouTube videos made by and for introverts. Yeah, there seems to be a whole bunch of people out there wielding their introvert credentials and making videos out of them. Now, I look at that and I go, well, they think they're introverts, and they are, but so am I. And I think I've got some of these other introvert YouTubers cornered, because as far as I'm aware, with me and I guess the people I know, I'm the most introverted person I know. I like to think that I'm probably one of the most introverted people in the world, and I've got the introvert cred, 100%. And I think I've got some of these other people cornered. So this is my I am an introvert video. So I've discovered that I was an introvert ever since I was a child. Like, we're talking maybe at least 12 or 13 years of age. I knew I wasn't meant to be in crowds. And one of the earliest signs is my family, my extended family, likes to go to these restaurants, these Chinese restaurants where, you all just kind of sit around on a big table. There might be, if it's a really big group, there might be a table for the kids. Um, People who are Asian will probably know what I'm talking about. And I need to be dragged into these restaurants, into these family gatherings, right? It's got my grandma, my parents, my aunts and uncles. I need to be absolutely dragged to these places. Every time my parents are like, yeah, we gotta go celebrate Lunar New Year or whatever, and we gotta go to these restaurants, and I'm just gonna be like, hell no, right? And I always say to my parents, what's the point? What's the point of these stupid like get-togethers anyway? Because I'm one of those people who never see the point of it. It's just a bunch of adults talking adult things and kids talking about stupid things, and I just rather play home and sorry, I just rather stay home and play video games, not play home and stay video games. Yeah, so early on, I knew I was an extrovert. I can't handle large crowds. Even to this day, I absolutely do not like large gatherings when I'm forced to interact with people. So yeah, I've got that introvert cred from an early get-go. But I think I got lucky in certain regards. Is that I stuck to my guns. Because a lot of the other introverts in these other videos, and here's why I have them beat a little bit, they continue to go to these gatherings. They drank the extrovert Kool-Aid. They believed in the extrovert cred that, you gotta go out, you gotta meet people, you gotta network. I never bothered with that. I just took all those extrovert advice, the extrovert playbook, and chucked it in the dish. I could not care less, and I think I was one of the luckier people in that way. I kind of knew what I want in terms of my social life, and I stuck with it ever since those rebellious years when every time my parents want to drag me to a big family gathering, I just say no. Eventually, my parents gave up. So when I was, I don't know, later in my teenage life, they just never bother asking. And I never have to go to these things again. Thank God. Because I can't stand them. Because I'm an introvert. So yeah, I knew what I was getting into for quite a while, and even while I was in high school and university, I never went to any of those big events. Prom? Nah. I still remember one prom year, I think in my senior year, folks were getting excited about it, and me and a bunch of friends went to watch The Matrix. Yeah, The Matrix, the first one, instead of going to prom. I'd rather hang out with a couple close buds than go hang out with a bunch of people who are not close to me at all. Just for what? Street cred? Nah. So yeah, I've got a history with staying by myself, being a total homebody, don't really like to go out. Sorry, I do like to go out, but I don't like to go out with a big group of people. I used to go out almost pretty much once a week with my buds. We go to restaurants, we catch movie, just me and two, three other people, and it was fantastic, right? Close connections, close relationships is an introvert's blood. Like it's our food, it's our nourishment. We absolutely cannot take big crowds. And just like that, I carried that with me throughout even my work life. In my university life, university, I was just home all the time. When everybody else is going out partying, I was at home. So I never had that confusion about myself. Confusion about, what kind of people I want to hang out with, how much I want to hang out. For me, it's just stay home and play video games. It's great. And I took that all the way into my work too. And work was really interesting because even though at my work, and I've been in various offices, I'm an office worker, we always have these like Christmas parties. Rarely we would have like, just a department party or something like that. And I remember going to one of these Christmas parties. I like the people I work with. I want to hang out with them, to celebrate Christmas, right? So I went. Hated it. Hated it. It just was so pointless. Now, I'm not like these other extroverts on YouTube who say that it was absolute torture. Okay, sorry, my bad. It was absolute torture. Now that I think about it, I'm with these people. I can't let them be me here. It was absolute torture because it took a bunch of people that I enjoyed working with, that I have fun chatting with in the office, and put us in a social setting where we basically have to chit chat, talk about a whole lot of nothing. And I guess I was fooled. I figure, if I get along with these people in the office, I get along with them great outside the office. And no, not quite. It was just all superficial bullshit in the office, just with drinks. And I don't even drink. Yeah, I don't even drink. Do not drink. So I never really got to loosen up, nor do I really want to. And ever since then, I refuse to go to any more office parties, Christmas or otherwise, with one exception. And this is really interesting because even though I made everybody who I work with known, I made known to everybody I work with that I absolutely will not go to any work gatherings or get-togethers. They still try to get me to go. Now I know that's a regular introvert story, people pressuring you to go. And, I didn't get so much pressure, but I get the sense that they kind of want me to go. Not for their sake, but more for my own. Because like I said, we get along fantastically in an office work setting. So, everybody figures that, we get along in the office, we should get along outside. But I knew better than that. But one time, I went. And it's because the people there went to a place, I don't even remember what place it was, but they sold me on it because they had video games there. They say, hey, we're going to a place that has video games. You like playing with the Wii, right? Yeah, okay, that sounded strange if you're not of my generation. But, the Wii was a video game console from Nintendo. That's how ancient this story is. But yeah, they have the Wii there, and they got Dance Dance Revolution, and yeah, I'm a fan of Dance Dance Revolution. I was younger back then; I can handle it. Not so much now, but so I went because they promised me video games. I remember, I like to stay home and play video games, but I like to play video games, so I went, and it was absolute bullshit. It was terrible. Here's what actually happened. I was sold on the promise of there being video games, but there were video games there, okay? There was Dance Dance Revolution there. They weren't lying. But let me just put it this way. If I went there for video games, I'd be playing Dance Dance Revolution by myself the entire night, the entire time I was there. Because nobody cared about video games. Yeah, sure, there's video games there. Well, what good is it if nobody shows any interest? Now, I don't know if it's just stigma or whatever, but you know what the people in my party did? They played poker. Bloody Texas Hold'em poker. I know it's hot stuff. Okay, I know it's hot stuff. And people still, love the game to this day. But that's where a lot of the people went, just to show off their poker skills because it's popular on TV. Not everybody was playing poker. The people who weren't playing poker, what were they doing? They were playing pool. That's right, good old fashioned freaking pool. And I'm like, guys, you sold me on video games. I got pool and poker. It's not right. And you know what? I left. I said bye to as many people as I can. I don't even remember if I said bye to anybody really. I just walked out. And that's another trademark of mine. I have no qualms about walking out on anything. Man, these examples aren't exactly the only parties I've been to. I think I fell for a few more of those in my younger days, but I forgot all of them because they were just so mediocre. But I do remember one thing. I do not hesitate to walk out. I walked out of that party with the poker and the pool players, right? Just like that. Like the party literally started for less than an hour and I was already out the door. No remorse, no fear. I was disappointed though. And you know what? This is the thing that introverts, especially introverts of my caliber, this is the price we have to pay for being who we are and being true to who we are. We can be very lonely individuals. Now, I say lonely, but that doesn't mean alone. Sorry. I'm actually alone, but not lonely. It's really hard to quantify. I like being alone. I'm an introvert. Goes with the territory. But it can creep up on that loneliness factor, right? There's only so much alone a person can take. You need no man is an island. You need someone. Eventually, one of these days, you need someone. And I think, from my experience, that's the biggest downfall, biggest drawback of being an introvert. You need someone, but it's so hard to find someone. That's how it is in my experience. So we're all introverts are okay alone, but not indefinitely. And we do get lonely. At least I did. So that's my problem. I've never been able to form close connections with a lot of people. And that's why I say I've got a lot of these people beat. Because I don't have very many friends. Actually, a lot of the introvert YouTubers claim that too, but I claim that I really don't have very many friends. And that's to this day. And it's because of, the fact that I can walk away from social situations without feeling very guilty about it. But the big downside is that you walk away alone. That's the biggest downside I see. Walking away isn't the problem. It's what happens after. When you walk away, you realize you've been fooled, you've been duped, you've been going to a place where you have no business being, and you come out by yourself. You're fine with being alone, but you still come out there alone, lonely. You didn't make any connections. Everything's more or less superficial. There's no deep conversations. You wasted your time and you got nothing to show for it. And I think that's the craziest part about being introverts. Because there is a huge downside. But anyway, that's my little introvert story there, and I hope it wasn't too boring for you. I hope I connected with other introverts out there. So I could talk about this all day, to be honest, but I can't really talk about it alone. So My name is Randy Koo. You've been watching The Spiritual Transformer. If you like what you hear, click that like and subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.